Hello, everyone. This is my Journey to Life vlog. This week, I'd like to do a blog by can't remember Paul Queasy, and it's day 117, telling people I am a diabetic. Now, I'm not a diabetic, but what I what hit me about this particular blog was that he hid in high school he hid that he was a diabetic and actually caused problems for himself because when he was in school he wasn't careful about his blood sugar levels and did not take the insulin and caused problems for himself. And what I immediately thought was, if we hide the problems that we have, then they can't be solved. And also we hide the fact that they exist from other people. Whereas if we bring them out and present them, then more questions might be asked as to, wow, why does this exist? And this same scenario happened to me when my husband died. He committed suicide. And suddenly I had no experience with suicide. And friends were calling me and telling me that their father had killed himself. Two people that I knew, actually, and that I was friendly with and interacted with on a regular basis, both of them had had parents that killed themselves, and I had had no idea. So, in hiding things because we're embarrassed by them, because we personally feel that we're responsible for them, especially within this system of inequality where life is not cared for. It's a game of monopoly. It's a game of greed and grab and inconsideration. And in this game, just as in the game of monopoly, you'll get knocked off the board. It simply does not support life. So there's no one to blame, but collectively all of us to blame, passively and directly, for supporting a system, allowing a system of inequality. So back to the point that hiding things is obviously, in common sense, not a solution. Because if we don't know about them, then we can't walk through the problem of them. So here is a statement of self-forgiveness that Paul wrote that I will read. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to fear others knowing that I am a diabetic, because of a fear of being seen as abnormal and odd, because injecting insulin and testing blood sugars is something that is not normally done by people, and in this divine diabetes as odd and abnormal. In this I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to define myself as abnormal and odd for being a diabetic, because I have attached those definitions of being a diabetic within the context of a social community. And I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to fail to see that when people realize I am a diabetic, they are curious rather than judgmental, and that I have allowed myself to give up opportunities where I am able to educate people on diabetes by answering the questions and curiosity, by allowing myself to fear being judged for being a diabetic. So, and in the next statement, he says, I am the only one that is creating the stigma by being a character of believing that it is a stigma. And within that, existing within an end game where the consequences of why this exists are not actually looked at within the whole. So hiding problems is hiding problems. It's not solving problems. It's not looking at what's here in totality to realize why what exists exists. And there are behaviors that are unacceptable, like having diabetes, with all that's here that's able to sustain us. Should this exist? Should suicide exist? No. I mean, it's an indication that we're not supporting life, and thus the system of inequality as a profit-based system is unacceptable because it does not consider all life. So to develop an awareness of the system, look into the equal money system, and look at the behaviors that we've each accepted and allowed that are us in fear of exposing something that we believe that we are, in fear of someone else knowing, when obviously that is an action, that is a being of self, that is not directive and problem solving. So everything needs to be brought out, to be solved, to be directed. So where everything that's here is taken care of as life, as that is a value. And thus we need to change the system. And that's going to take each and every one of us to stand up and to speak and to stop hiding and to ask questions, even the questions that no one once asked. They must be asked. So to clean up yourself within, walk the Destiny Eye process, because the curtains that we hide behind have gotten so thick that we can no longer see through them. Thus, it's going to take a process to remove them and clean ourselves up. And this system on earth, as capitalism and inequality, creating war and conflict, destruction of this earth, needs to be changed to one that supports all life and uses best practices, which we know what best practices are, to change this world into a world that supports all life. And thus, it will become heaven on earth, because the gift is life, and we are here to be life. So it's time to stand up. Thank you, and thank you, Paul. I enjoyed your blog. I will post it, the link below. Thank you.